Hey everyone, so today I'm going to do a tutorial incorporating Barium Dazzledusts, Eyeko Cream, and I want to show you a new technique that I'm using to do my blush that I think has been working out really well. So I don't know what the title of this video is going to end up being, but that's what we're doing today. So let's start off with Guerlain Meteorites primer and, you know, whatever you have for primer. I'm almost out of this, so I won't be using this that much longer. And I've got to take that ring off because it's definitely going to be in the way. Oh, I love the way this smells. I am so going to miss this, but it's like $70-something a bottle, so there's no way I can replace it. That was just a special occasion thing. And I'm going to use Revlon Colorstay makeup, and this is for normal to dry skin, and my color is Ivory. And I'm almost out of this too, but trying to use, you know, all these different foundations that I have. I just pour some on the back of my hand, and then I use my Sonia Kashuk flat top synthetic brush, which I absolutely love and would not want to have to do my foundation without. It's a nice mid-ranged type priced brush. It's not wicked expensive and it's not cheap either. It's somewhere in the middle. I think they're around $15 for most of her brushes. So I'm just gonna like buff that into the skin. Blend it down. I like this foundation a lot. You have to work pretty fast with it though, because it does dry quickly, which is typical of any long-lasting foundation. But that's one of the great things about these brushes is they make it easier to work with. Something like this. Okay, I think I'm going to need more. We're really getting down there. I didn't put that much on my brush because I don't like it to be too thick, so that chin area gets pretty red. I have wicked hyperpigmentation in my skin. You can buy primers that will eliminate the redness from your skin. They're usually green. But I don't know. I like to let some of those pink, well in my case red, tones come through and make my makeup look somewhat natural. But that runs in my family, having that real strong pink tones. Okay. Now what I usually do is I keep a box of baby wipes on my makeup table. Believe me, it comes in handy. And then, you know, I'll have something I can just get that foundation off my hand with. Okay, the next step is going to be, I'm going to take Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and don't go crazy with the concealer, you guys. I sometimes see people using so much concealer, and yes, you want to conceal your dark circles, but you don't want it to look like you're wearing a mask. You want it to look somewhat natural. So I just put like 1 dot is plenty of product to use, and then blend it all the way up to the lash line, because otherwise you're going to have like a mark or a ring. Now this eye for some reason is a little worse. I have stopped using all powder products on my face, and it's made a big difference in the problem that I was having with the dry skin is gone now. I'm going to use MAC Lady Blush. This is one of their blush creams. This is in the permanent line, so you can get this anytime. And it's just a neutral, like rosy pink color. Now here's my new way of applying blush that I think has made a big difference. I'm going to take the same brush that I used for my foundation and just dab it in there. And oh wow, I put too much. Well, I better use some of it over here then. But yeah, I find that if you use the same brush, it looks a lot more natural. And then you can buff it in too. Now, how can we fix this? We've got too much blush without starting over. Probably doesn't look as dark on camera as it does in real life, but in real life it's too much. So I'm just going to take a little bit more foundation. And just work that in. And try to just get the I'm working this away along the bottom section here. Now see, these are the things that you can't do with powder blushes. When you're working with creams, it's so much easier to fix a mistake. Okay, so it was mainly the lower part that looked too dark. So we fixed that up with just a little bit of foundation. And someone was asking me about the Eyeko Cream and how do I use it. So I'll show you. Looks like that. And it doesn't really have, it has a smell, but it's kind of not a pleasant smell. I just take a little bit and I go right across between the area where the concealer and the blush is. Right across in that area, and just rub it in like that. Just a dab will do ya. You don't want to use too much because then it's not going to look very realistic. Just blend it right in that area between the concealer and blush. And then I do the same thing on my brow bone in the area where you would normally use a highlight. Just a little bit. Just blend it right into that area there under your brow. And that's going to take the place of like a beige eyeshadow or whatever you would normally use there. Okay, now we're working with Barium Dazzledusts here, so I'm going to use Urban Decay Primer Potion, but use an eyeshadow base if you don't have this. Use something that's fairly thick and liquidy. You don't want anything too dry because you're going to have problems with the Dazzledusts with fallout, blending, etc. So you want to make sure you use a nice wet, thick primer, and you want to make sure that you use enough. Now normally I would not use a lot of eyeshadow base because then you could run into problems with creasing, but in this case I'm going to use a fairly moderate amount. And see, because we used the Eyeko Cream, you don't have to worry about you know, the cream, the Eyeko Cream interfering with the shadow base. Yeah, this is way more primer potion than I would normally use, but you kind of need it when you're working with any kind of, not just Dazzledust, but pigments, loose powders, mineral eyeshadows of any kind. Okay. So, what I'm going to start off with is, let's see. I'm going to start with my lid color today. And this is Sapphire. This is number 69. Barium Dazzledust. That's the color. It's beautiful, beautiful blue. And I'm going to use a MAC 224 brush. And the way I do this is I start off, I just dip the brush ever so slightly into the jar, and then dip it into the lid and knock off any excess on the brush. Okay? So you don't need hardly anything here. And then I'm just going to like dab it on my eyelid. And then I'm just going to keep dipping the brush back into the lid to pick up more. And as you can see, the color on is not as intense as what it looks like in the jar. So if you're buying these at the store, you don't have to be scared when you see these colors because they're not going to go on quite as dark. Oh, what a beautiful color this is. So I'm just kind of dabbing till I get like an even distribution. And then just, you know, repeat. Take a little bit more from the jar. Knock the excess off your brush onto the lid of the jar and just kind of dab it on. So you don't want to put too much on there at once because if you put too much on, there's not much you can do without removing and starting over again. So I'd rather start with a smaller amount, which is what I should have did with my blush, but I forgot I was working with MAC blush, and you know, they're pretty pigmented, so if that had been a different brand of blush, I would have been okay probably. And then just, you know, keep doing it until it looks even. And if it doesn't look perfect, like up in the crease area, don't worry about it because we're going to put another color up there. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now, I want to use a complementary color in the crease to the Sapphire. So gray or silver looks really good with blues. So I'm going to use gray, which is number 10. Which looks like that. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just take a little, same brush. I just wipe the brush like on a paper towel, but don't wipe it like with anything wet or anything, because that's going to really mess up the, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to mess up the texture of the Dazzledusts, so you don't want to get your brush wet. Okay, so I've got some of the gray, and I'm just going to work that a bit into the crease. I like to start on the outside corner and kind of work my way in. Yeah, I love blue and gray together. So we dabbed on the lid, but we're going to blend in the crease. These are so easy to work with. You know, if you make a mistake or whatever, you can just like wipe that excess Dazzle dust with your finger or your hand, and it's just going to brush away. It's just got such a great texture to it. I just find these so much easier to work with than something like Bare Minerals, which, you know, once you place that there, it's there, and, you know, it's not going to be so easy to fix it. Oh, I love these colors. They're so pretty. It's one of the things I like best about Barry M. Their colors are gorgeous. And they have a really nice color selection. Doesn't matter what color you're looking for, they pretty much got it. Okay. So we've already got the Eyeko Cream on for the highlight. So that's all set. And now I'm going to take Boots number 7 eyeliner, and I'm just going to work this a little bit along the lower lash line. Not too strong though, because these Dazzledusts have kind of a softness about them, so you want to keep it balanced. I wouldn't want to do like a real strong eyeliner with the nice soft eyeshadow. So right along that lower lash line, I'm not doing the waterline, I'm just doing right along the lashes. This is a beautiful blue-gray eyeliner that June gave me in a swap. I am going to use Eyeko Big Eyes Mascara, which is pretty intense mascara, because I want to make sure that my lashes are well coated to balance all this eyeshadow, because otherwise, you know, your eyelashes could get lost amongst this much eye makeup. And this is a nice dramatic mascara. It can clump a little, but I don't really have issues with that, because I can usually fix it. I usually just try to work it through with the brush, and if that doesn't work, I can show you what I do. Yeah, this is really going to make your lashes stand out. Which is the whole point, right? Oh, and by the way, using that same brush for the eyeshadow, by doing that you're taking a little bit of the lid color, mixing it with the crease color to almost make like a hybrid color for the crease. So my crease is actually more similar to that lid color that I used than what it would have been had I just used a different brush. Sometimes I like to do that. I like to incorporate a little bit of that lid color in what I use for my crease color. Okay, so we've got nice dramatic lashes now that will stand out against all that eye makeup. Okay, now for lipstick today, I'm gonna use an NYX lipstick, and this is one of their round lipsticks, and this is Baby Pink number 592, which is a little bit different of a color than what I have seen of most baby pinks. And I'm not going to use lip liner of any kind because I want this to be nice and subtle to sort of go with the soft eye color. These are really great lipsticks for the price. First time I ever tried these, I was like, oh my god, these are so good. I went out and bought, like, I don't know how many colors of these, and then Ulta didn't have all the colors that I wanted, so I placed an order with NYX themselves. If you can't get NYX where you live, and you don't want to place an order directly through them, I know they have NYX on cherryculture.com. I have not ever placed an order with them, but I know people who have, and I don't know of any problems that they had or anything. And also, June was telling me that they have Eyeko products on cherryculture.com, and they have the Eyeko Cream. Oh. So this is a nice, soft baby pink. And it's kind of got like a frosty effect to it. But I think it's so pretty. So, let's see. My nail polish today is China Glaze Avalanche. And I thought that that was just a gorgeous, like, sort of a cross between blue, purple, and silver all mixed together. So that's my Sunday tutorial. I think that's what I'm going to call it. Sunday tutorial. And what I'll do is I'll put a list in the description box of all the products I use, just in case you didn't catch something or you didn't, understand what I said or whatever. And hope you like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.